Stay savage, your boy ShinoBeenTrill. What's poppin'? Today we are back, and this time we're gonna be talking about some Black Clover. Now, I know a lot of you guys have questions about Black Clover, and Black Clover kind of has a love-hate relationship with most people. It's either they love it or they really hate it. It's one of those hit or miss things. But for me, I've really been enjoying Black Clover, and I think the anime as well as the manga is pretty decent. Now, a lot of people have a lot of problems, and a lot of people have a lot of problems for various reasons. Now, most of the time, they're usually subjective. As for me, well, you know my opinion. I actually enjoy it. I've talked about it a few times on the channel. I even made an Asta explain video. Now we're going to be talking about Asta's anti-magic form, and I'm going to explain it for you guys. So if you guys would like to continue, go ahead and do so at your own discretion. If you guys are not caught up in the manga, I don't suggest you actually continue in this video because this video will contain spoilers. Now obviously I'll be using some reference to the anime, but for the most part we'll be talking about a lot of different things that pop up in the manga. So with that being said, if you guys are excited about today's video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. I will be talking about more Black Clover videos in the future. So if that's your niche and that's what you want, make sure you stay tuned. Now with that being said, finally, let's get it. So in order to talk about Asta's anti-magic form properly, we will have to talk about Asta as a whole. We'll have to talk about his character too. We'll have to talk about his past and his upbringing as well. So a lot of things about Asta are shrouded in mystery. Like, who is he? Where did he come from? Who's his family? Who's his relative? How did he end up being an orphan with Yuna? Where did they come from? Who dropped them off there? Like, there are so many question marks and they all lead to a particular dead end. Not to mention, Asta is a kid who was born with no magic. Like, how are you born into a world with no magic when this world is completely based around mana? That is completely insane. Despite having no magic, Asta was still able to enter in the Magic Knights. He even passed the exams. He even got a 5 Clover Grimoire. Like, a lot of people don't know the mysteries behind his Grimoire, but I'll save that for another video. And for a lot of people who don't know, anti-magic is actually a form of magic. It's just magic that negates other magic. Now for most people, they don't realize that Asta's magic swords absorb magic just from the person holding it. Now that's pretty odd to say these two swords reside in his Grimoire. Say Yuna was to pick up one of Asta's swords, the magic will be completely sucked out of his body. Not to mention the Wizard King Julius, he also noted, I'm holding it, this is extremely heavy. At the same time I'm holding it, all the magic inside of my body is being completely sucked out and drained from. Now if we jump ahead in Black Clover, we also see this exact thing happen when Asta hurls his swords at one of the 8 generals of the Diamond Kingdom. He hurls his swords at him and it stabs the sword into his body, and while the sword is being stabbed into him, the sword is so heavy that they can't pick it up. Not to mention at the same time, all of his magic force and his magic energy is being completely sucked out, which renders him completely useless. So at this point, I bet you're wondering, hey Shino, why does this play a role? Why is this important? Well, since magic is being continually sucked out of a person's body, you know, they actually are losing their mana. But for Asta, he doesn't have any mana. Not to mention, he works out ridiculously and he has a lot of strength. He's the second most muscular character in the whole entire series. And since anti-magic is continually flowing through the Demon Slayer sword, it's completely sucking magic up at all times. But Asta is able to wield it since he has no magic, and this causes a continuous flow that flows through Asta's body, causing him to subconsciously be able to control the power. Now I know a lot of people are wondering, how can he subconsciously control something without knowing about it? It's due to his training. It's due to him actually being really strong. It's like Boruto adding the wind style to the Rasengan when he was a kid and then throwing it. A lot of people didn't know how it happened, but he subconsciously did it. Now while this continuous flow of anti-magic is not really noticeable to Asta up until the point he is healed by the witch of the witch's forest, aka Vanessa's mother. And the Witch's Queen even notes that since Asta has no magic, it's kind of like another output for the sword. It's like he's holding an antenna and giving it more frequency because he has no magic. So basically all of the magic that's coming out of the sword is actually flowing into his body. And when she healed him with her blood, that caused the flow of magic to actually hypen up, you know, because before it was kind of subtle. It was very small and not noticeable. And due to his training with Captain Yami of the Black Bulls, Asta is able to sense ki now. I know a lot of you guys remember when Asta was fighting against Lich and Valdos. You know, he saw that he can control ki and he could sense ki. This which allows Asta to be able to sense the continuous flow of anti-magic that's coming through his sword and into his body, which in turn allows him to concentrate and control the direction of it. Now, if you control the direction of this input, he can cause more of the input to not necessarily go into the sword and actually be forced into his body, which allows him to go into the anti-magic state that we see today. Now there's one more thing that's regarding Asta's anti-magic form that I didn't note in this video. I just kind of explained on how the flows work and how Asta's able to bring it out. But if you guys remember, when Asta got injured and he was pushed to the break and the queen actually pulled out his true self, he saw a demon inside of himself. He saw a demon inside of his conscious world. It was kind of like a cognitive world where he saw another demon which was with him the whole entire time. And the demon also noted, I've been with you since the very beginning. I've been with you this whole entire time. Let me get your powers. Let me get this body so I can reappear and materialize in the human world. It's been a really long time since I was able to get into the human world. But Asta, his willpower was so strong that he was able to fight off this demon and push him back. This pushes me to believe that all the demons that were slain with the sword actually became one, and now they're living as one entity inside of Asta's sword. Now mind you, that is a bit of speculation. I don't necessarily know what this demon is that reside inside of Asta's swords. It kind of reminds me of Ichigo in his hollow form, or Ichigo in Zangetsu when he actually spoke to him and actually lended him his power, you know? So I'm not really sure what's going on here, but Asta definitely has something else going on with that sword outside of the anti-magic form. But I explained to you guys how Asta can access his anti-magic form. You know, let me know your personal thoughts and personal opinions on this video. Let me know how you feel about the topic, and let me know how you feel about Asta and his anti-magic form. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for daily content. With that being said, my name is ShinoBeenTrill. If you guys would like to see more videos from me, make sure you subscribe. And with that being said, finally, stay true and stay real. Have a blessed day. See you guys later. Bye, Z.